Hi, and welcome to another edition of The Hot Seat. I'm your host, Eric, and with me today is the one and only Lauren Floyd. Lauren?
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Have you ever seen a hot seat before?
I have, quite a few.
You have? Good, so you know what to expect.
Let's hope I know what to expect.
Do you think I'm going to be easy on you today?
No.
Good. Lauren, where should we start with Lauren Floyd? Lauren, first of all, let's talk about your personal life. Tell me about your relationship status.
Married.
Married. What's
Happily married.
Happily married. What's your husband's name?
Taylor Floyd.
Taylor Floyd. Interesting. What's Taylor do?
He is the manager of a coffee shop and a coffee roaster.
We'll get into your coffee snob status here in a little bit. What do you think I started with your personal life? What's going on in your life that might lead me to start with personal life on the hot seat?
You know, not a lot.
Not a lot.
We had our 5-year anniversary in December.
Okay, not it.
We're having a baby in 8 months.
That's it. You're having a baby?
Weeks.
8 months. You look pretty pregnant for 8 months,
It's
8 weeks.
by.
You're having a baby in 8 weeks.
Yep.
Congratulations. What's your baby's name?
I can't.
You're not going
tell
to
you
divulge that in the hot
Nope.
seat? Dang it. Had to try.
But we
do you know
picked a
what
name.
do you know what sex the baby is?
Yes, we're having a boy.
You're having a boy. Awesome. A new baby boy, one of 2 baby boys on the way in the agency. Very good. So you're having a baby boy in 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You know the name. We don't get to know the name. I just want the baby to know for the record that your name was known before you were born. Okay, good.
Big deal
That's
in our family.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And is this your first child?
Yes.
First child, expecting first-time mother. Are you nervous?
Yeah.
Are you reading lots of books?
Not as much as I probably should be, but that's okay.
I would prefer you read some workbooks. The baby stuff it'll just happen. Okay, good. So what's the worst piece of motherly advice you've been given? Like, what's the worst piece of advice? Everybody wants to give expecting mothers advice. Every mother out there feels like she's got to tell an expecting mother
They do.
something, right? Like,
I've heard lots of
for
stories.
sure. What's the worst piece of advice you have right now on the hot seat?
To co-sleep with your baby.
That is really terrible advice.
Yeah.
Do not sleep with your baby. I'll give you some advice as a father. Make sure the kid stays in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Don't bring it in when it starts crying.
That's what I'm planning
Yeah,
on.
it's your nature, though. You're going to be a mother, and you're going to lose your dang mind, and you're going to feel like you've got to tend to the baby, leave the baby in the bedroom. Good. Good answer.
I can't wait.
I can't wait for the crying baby. Is Taylor excited?
He has been ready to have a baby since we got married. He's
Okay.
so excited.
So it's time.
He wants it to come early.
It's time. You guys got
Yeah.
married before you got pregnant?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's a key indicator that it's actually time. Also, just for the record. Okay, what do you do for the agency?
I'm the multimedia strategist.
A multimedia strategist. That sounds impressive. What's that mean to a normal person? What do you do?
That means I get to create a lot of scripting, pre-production strategy, and actually figure out if the videos that we create.
There it is. Videos in the
Oh.
backside. You work on videos.
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
Okay, we got Sam on the other side of the camera. You're on Sam's team.
Yep.
Sam does camera stuff. You do what? Content stuff, messaging stuff, strategy stuff?
Strategy stuff meaning I get to look at everything a client has and figure out what's working, what's not, and what we can do to make it better.
Have you ever done that for Revenue River?
Well, it's what I do right now.
Did you put the strategy together for this? Have you reviewed our hot seat for any kind of?
No, but it's becoming part of my task list.
Okay.
So
Okay. So as that evolves,
It
I'd
will be.
love some feedback.
I can do it.
Sam and I are too close to this, right? Like we can't get out of it. Okay, good. So what's do you know what your job roles are? I'm sure you wrote this down in your prep.
Yes.
What are your job
I
roles?
did look them up beforehand.
I appreciate the transparency on the hot seat. You get plus points for that, not minus points. Okay, job roles.
All right, campaign strategy, pre-production, which includes scripting, and then analytics.
Like seeing how, interpreting how the strategy you put together actually performs.
Yeah, and doing
That's
in-depth
good.
audits.
Yep, I like that. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So let's get to this whole coffee snob thing. I feel like you and I are on polar opposites of the planet as far as expectations on coffee. Sort of like on the beer side, like I've got no problem drinking a Miller Lite, a Coors Light, something like that.
Yeah.
But we've got a bunch of beer snobs around here that only want a craft beer because it's got to cost like $7 a pint and be thick enough to spread on your sandwich in order to drink for some reason. I like craft beer too, right? So I like fancy coffee, but I feel like you are like the fancy coffee. What Kelly Reed is to shoes, you are to coffee.
That's a good analogy. I would agree with that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So with that said, here's your opportunity. I have unconscious incompetence when it comes to coffee. I don't know what I don't know. Like I get like what flavor do I want and stuff. Teach me and our audience about why fancy coffee is better than whatever I'm drinking.
So a good indicator that you need to grow in your flavors, because you just said what flavor of coffee do I want.
Yeah.
When it comes to coffee, you can go to 7-Eleven and you can get a vanilla hazelnut coffee, black. The vanilla and the hazelnut have been added to it, whether it's through syrups or oil, whatever it may be.
Sure.
But coffee beans, depending on where they're grown, what they're grown in, how they're processed after they're picked.
They have different flavor profiles.
Yeah. So
Just like hops or marijuana.
exactly. It's really similar to craft beer, craft wine.
Yeah. Okay. Wine, that's another good one. The berries, the grapes, if you will. Okay, so I can get a natural flavor out of a fancy bean. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. So imagine sniffing a cup of coffee and it smelling like pure strawberries.
I would close my eyes and I can imagine that.
That's a thing.
That's
really
a thing.
rare,
All right.
it's a thing.
All right. It's it's all about the bouquet. Like for me, it's functions. Like I'm dragging ass and I need to wake up and I need coffee and I want some cream in there.
Everybody's on their own coffee journey.
Man, when was the last time you bought coffee at 7-Eleven? Hazelnut vanilla.
Oh man, probably
Yeah.
high school.
Yeah. So my favorite flavor of coffee used to be Colombian until we hired Juliet, and now it's French roast.
Oh.
No?
See,
Nobody.
when I smell the French roast, I smell
You might have
charcoal.
taken that answer a little too literal. Okay.
Tar.
So would you call your process for making and drinking and enjoying coffee then more complex than mine?
Probably.
You're willing to invest
Oh.
your time and effort and energy
Absolutely.
and stuff like that to get the finished product?
It's very much so. It feels like a ritual.
Okay. Would you give people the same advice for like making videos? Like, is it worth investing a little bit more into the process instead of just cranking something out with your cell phone?
Even more so.
Even more so, really? Why?
Because videos move the bottom line.
Videos
Plain
move the
and
bottom
simple.
line. Okay.
Yeah.
You started here in content, I believe, right?
I did.
How long you been at the agency?
9 months, almost to the day.
9 months. So
Yep.
you landed here on content, and then you moved into the multimedia department, into video. Do you think that's because you're smart?
I hope so.
Like you're
Ask my
seeing the future?
teammates.
Like you're seeing the future, right? Like you saw that as an opportunity?
I think that other people did, and they painted a big picture, and I said, yes, that makes sense.
Okay.
I see it and
Okay.
want to do it.
So the agency sees the vision of what's possible in video, and
Yeah.
you believe it. You bought it at least, and now you just mentioned how important video is for the bottom line. Like in my opinion, video isn't optional, and you can just do something silly like this. It's not like this is just massively driving to our bottom line. This is just some fun.
Right.
But there's a lot of different ways to apply video, right? It's not all about a $10,000 video production in a studio and lights, camera, action. There's some really cool sort of ways. What would you give some advice to people to with video to get started and get it going without big production and overhead and all that stuff?
Right now, video is the best way for your customers to be able to know that you're truthful, honest, and want a relationship. And those are driving factors that are going to make them want to know more and want to actually talk to your sales reps. So getting your smartphone out and creating a video is the best way to start. And putting that in an email or embedding it in an email.
What do you think that would cost somebody? Like a little bit of their time to think something up?
Well, assuming they have a smartphone.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Part of their data rates would cover it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so you did your research. Do you have a famous quote to end us with? Do you have a question for me? Do you have some way to inspire our audience? Like, what are you bringing today?
Well, in the last 2 weeks, my husband and I have acquired about 12 pounds of venison from one of his customers.
Did your husband shoot it?
No.
Customer gave it to him?
Yeah.
Do you trade him for coffee?
No.
Just gave it to him?
He just wanted to give it away.
So you got a bunch of venison.
So I thought, in the spirit of a lot of different venison recipes, I would ask, what is your favorite type of venison?
Favorite cut of venison,
yes.
or favorite dish of venison?
Yes.
I think round steaks would be my favorite cut of venison. Round steaks are easy. Get them out of the freezer. Lots of different ways to cook them. I prefer to grill everything wild game versus any other method of cooking.
Okay.
So I would prefer to grill it, and I would prefer to cook it hot. Don't confuse the meat. Nice tip there. Flip it one time. Few minutes one side, few minutes the other side, serve it one temperature rare, and then there's all kinds of cool recipes for different types of things you would like to, accompaniment, whatever. Grill
If I
it.
bring you some venison, will you grill it and bring it into the office so I can try it?
You want me to grill it here?
Or
We got a
can do
barbecue.
that.
We got barbecue
Let's
here. I'll
do
make
it.
you.
While it's snowing
Let's make
outside.
venison steaks for lunch on a snow day.
Yes.
Sound good?
Yes.
All right, that's a wrap, guys. Good. Lauren, great job today. Love having you on the team. Very excited to have another member of the family here in about 8 weeks.
Wait.
Yeah, well, I hope you're in a hurry to get back from maternity because we got a lot for you to do.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. You're a wonderful guest. You did a great job. Thank you, everyone. Another episode of The Hot Seat is over.